More than 60 items of Nazi war memorabilia, including several pieces featuring a swastika, will go under the hammer today in Launceston in Tasmania. The pieces include a silver SS ring, Nazi medals bearing swastikas, and a German military helmet. The Anti-Defamation Commission, which represents the Jewish community, says the sale is shameful and disgusting and must be condemned. Dr. Dvir Abramovich is a chairman of the commission and he joins us now from Melbourne. Dvir Abramovich, welcome. So how do you feel about these items going to auction?
Good morning, Joe. Good to be with you. Look, this is a sad day. It's a win for the neo-Nazis, who are probably delighted that Hitler's evil legacy is being kept alive and mainstreamed and normalized in our nation. It is a kick in the stomach for Jews. It is particularly painful this week because we are commemorating the one-year anniversary of the Pittsburgh Tree of Life massacre, in which Robert Bowers, a white supremacist, walked into a synagogue during Sabbath services, shouting, "All Jews must die," and massacred 11 worshippers standing together in prayer, simply because they're Jewish. And I want people to remember that the grisly items that are being auctioned in Tasmania today represent the very ideology that inspired and motivated Bowers to carry out this rampage and this atrocity. These items are completely out of step with the Australian values of freedom, equality and respect for all. They cross all red lines. It's wrong, it must stop, and it is shameful that Armitage Auctions hasn't looked into their heart, hasn't reflected on the standards and values that guide them, and have taken the high road of choosing morality over profits.
But this auction house says it's not against the law. It says it's been a tough decision, but it's not against the law.
Well, it's not against the law, and here is the problem. This is a conversation that we need to have in the public square. We need to reflect and we need to decide who we are as a people. And when we are legitimizing, and let's remember also that these items, the fact that we have these sales, it is a slap in the face, not just to the memory of the victims of the Holocaust, the 6 million Jews and millions of others who perished at the hands of the Nazis. It is also a slap in the face to the survivors who live amongst us, and you can imagine how they must feel, but also to the brave diggers who sacrificed their life to defeat the Third Reich. And any items that celebrate an ideology of racism, of violence, of the machinery of death need to be outlawed. And we have been running a campaign for the last year calling on state and the federal government to ban the sale of Nazi memorabilia. These items shouldn't be hawked to the highest bidder. They should be placed in a museum as educational tools to teach people about the lessons of history.
So do you want a law against this? Have you been lobbying for a law against this, and what have authorities had to say?
So we have been speaking to a range of our elected representatives, both in Victoria, where we are placed, but also around the country. There seems to be some movement. Premier Hodgkins a few months ago did indicate that he may be amenable to changing the law. The Tasmanian government has now come out and said that they are waiting for the federal government or for all state governments to lock arms. Look, we are living in troubling times. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. We've had a 60% increase over the last 12 months. We've got swastika vandalism. We've got Jewish students at schools being harassed and victimized simply because they're Jewish. And we need to make a stand. And when we have auction houses, not just in Tasmania, but also in Sydney, in about a week there'll be another Nazi memorabilia auction. What it does is that it contravenes the moral code that Australians live their lives by. I'll remind people that Simon Wiesenthal, the Nazi hunter, once said that it may begin with the Jews, but it won't end with the Jews. White supremacists, neo-Nazis are a threat to all of us. And if we don't stop this phenomenon now, if we don't close the lid on this very lucrative trade, who knows where it will end.
Okay, Dvir Abramovich, thanks so much for talking to us this morning from Melbourne.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.